All right, tonight we're hanging out with Mitch, Mr. Whiskers, and John Skitzo the Clown from Reaper's Realm.
Yay!
And was it
That's
Salisbury?
right.
North
What's up,
Carolina?
guys?
How's it
Hey!
Come on
going?
down.
We're so
What's
glad
up, guys?
you're
Come check us out.
Yeah, we'll be there. Gonna be there on what's it, the 18th?
18th, yeah, media
Yep,
night.
September 18th. We're excited for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are too. You guys have always been one of our favorite haunts in North Carolina. Actually, when we first started dating, I was like,
Yeah.
guess where we're going?
Yep.
we would,
We've been coming out for years.
yeah, even before we were with the Scare
Thank you.
Factors.
Absolutely. We love having you guys. So anytime
Yeah,
we got something going on, come on up.
yeah.
For sure.
Well, thanks for jumping on. We want everyone to know how awesome you guys are and kind of promote you out there before the actual season.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. We're rolling. We are really,
Always doing them stuff.
yeah. Since we moved to our new location, we've been there, this is our fifth year.
Fifth year.
that's crazy. It's been that
5 years
long.
here at the new
Wow.
spot. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Every year
it feels
we're
like it.
the guys that come out all the time, or every year they see how much we add every single season, and this one's not going to be. It's going to be the same. We're going to add a ton of stuff. Got the VIP coming and all that good stuff. So
Ooh.
Yeah.
we got a whole
VIP.
VIP lounge. It's going to have a DJ in the VIP lounge.
wow.
You're going to be able to interact with the haunt. We're going to try to set up some stuff at the back to where you can like set off horn blasters or air blasters to where you can actually get involved in some of the scares.
For sure, yeah. So it's gonna be pretty neat. So essentially, when you get your VIP ticket, you get to, access to the wedding barn that we've built. So the big barn, you guys have seen it, you guys have been there, but for everybody else that's watching that hasn't, when you come into our Midway, we have a huge barn it's always kind of just been like a backdrop facade, right? Reaper's Room Haunted Farm, you see a big barn, but you never have seen inside of it. Well, because we've been in construction for the past 4 years, and you're going to get to see why this year when you come inside. It's beautiful. You're going to get to enjoy some adult beverages, have some kind of some live music, depending on which nights we're going to have live bands, and also some pretty neat DJs. So it's going to have some rave vibes. So there's going to be some blacklight stuff.
Wow.
Get to see behind the scenes, like John was saying. You're going to get to walk through the makeup room.
Cool.
So, and then just for the VIP experience. So it's going to be, we're stoked for it. It's going to be pretty tight.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't ever been to a haunt where it was like, we've been through a lot of, VIPs with haunts, but we've never experienced something like that. So we're like, dang, this is new. I think it's going to be exciting for the fans and for the people like yourselves that have come frequently. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. Like, oh, that's what's behind those doors. So we're excited about it.
Wow.
So for people out there that have not been to Reaper's Realm before, give everybody just kind of an overview of when you guys started and, just a little bit of history.
So it originally started, I believe it was out there. It wasn't even here. So where we're actually filming from is the shop here for Mini Mayhem Productions. And we'll get into that here in a little bit later. So don't worry. But we were actually sitting in what was originally the concession stand for the old haunt. I turned it into my paint booth. It's where we're working on masks and costumes because everything's walled off. I've got airflow so it doesn't get overspray on all the castings and the molds and stuff like that in another room. But it originally started with the owners at a different location before they moved here. Now, I started I believe it was in 2011. I was almost 17 years old, or I just turned 17 years old. When was it when you started? It had to have been.
This is my 12th year.
Yeah, so it was not long after that.
Right.
So,
But it originally started in the 90s off of Cannon Farm Road in Enochville.
yeah, that's right.
It was just a single little trail. It was ran by the owner, TJ. It was his cousin, I believe, who actually started it. And then they shut down, and TJ and Angie picked it back up out off of Patterson Road. Ran it there for several years until they moved to this location, and we were here for...
I think it was from 2010 to 2020.
Yeah, so 10 years we ran here, and then we bought the 88 acres out off of Woodleaf Road and been there for 5 years now. So this is our 5th year. So it's got a lot of history to it. A lot of people around, that come all the time. They see where we started to where we're at now, and it's just leaps and bounds. But it's a lot of work we put into it. I mean, we've already started building out there. I mean, we're steady working on about everything now. So
do you work?
We never really stop. We do.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially, most haunts I'm sure are like this, but as soon as everybody gets done, it's like, all right, we all kind of gotta clean up. We're going to take a break for a little bit, and then it's real short. It's it seems like by the time we get through Christmas, we're all chomping at the bit. We all have fresh ideas. We're setting up meetings. We're going out there. We're walking through. I mean, making sure everything, because where we're at, again, for you guys that have never been, we are a full functioning farm. So in the off season, we have animals.
Yeah.
And when you come through, you're going to see some of those animals, not necessarily like, we don't use them as like scares, right? But when you come through the slop water, through the hog barn, there's going to be live hogs in there. You're going to be
always one of our favorite areas.
2 or 3 months.
It's a year-round hog barn.
So I mean, and then all of our buildings they're all dual purpose, and it was it's pretty much designed that way because I mean we're going to need the facilities for the farm to run. So we transition after haunt season into farm mode. So we're always doing maintenance and keeping everything up just so the animals are safe and taken care of. And then as we progress into year, we're going to Trans World, getting fresh ideas, buying new props and characters and stocking up for the season. And as soon as we get back, it's like, it's full
100% ready to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
What we really love about you guys too is it's not just the props that you see at a lot of different haunts. So you guys really do a great job, I know you said you talked about it in a minute, but making, your own mask and costumes, and it's not the same type of scares that we necessarily see at 75% of the haunts I feel like we do go through. It's always a very unique
we pride
experience.
ourselves in that a lot. So
I believe that's what sets us off from a lot of people is we don't have your Jasons and Freddys and things like that. I mean, because to us, if you're going to put a Jason out there, he has to meet that character standard. He's got to be the right height, the right size. Yeah. And a lot of haunts miss that with it. So when you see a 5'6" Jason walking around out there, you're like, okay, bro, like that's, come on. You know what I mean? We do a lot of those numbers all in-house. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so we do everything in-house. We make all of our own costumes. Mitch does all the painting on the mask and doing the distressing on the costume. So, we name our characters, give them backstories, everything, because we want to engulf you into the experience, the sight, the smell, the sounds, everything. We want to meet everything that our customers are looking for in the scares, in the scare factor.
For sure. That's why it's one of a kind, because it's real. I mean, there's the show and the entertainment side of it, but you can't fake real. You can't fake real animal pens. You can't fake the smell when you walk through different buildings after animals have been in there all year.
Very true.
Yeah.
We love Froggy's Fog. All right. We love them. I've yet to find a scent that smells as real as some of our bars.
You just can't. You can't match the slop block.
No.
You can match the smell of the slop block.
We call it country cologne.
That's right. Country cologne.
It's hilarious, man.
That's awesome. I know another thing that really I feel like sets you guys apart, and every year I feel like when we're scoring for you guys, when we attend, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, both of you work with training your different cast members that you have. And
exactly. Yeah.
I always feel like you guys do a great job with teaching them how to banter and be personal, and it's not like the same lines that they're kind of saying over and over. They really, this one right here really likes going back and forth with characters. And, we really have,
that's my favorite customer. I love the ones that like to go back and forth. I love it.
So the way that we do it is every main attraction that you go through, you're going to have a lead actor, which is going to be kind of your supervisor for that area. Well, not always, but most of the time, the lead actors are multiple year veterans, and they know their storyline within their scene, and we give them free reign. I mean, obviously, you've got to keep it, within limits. There's a difference between scaring somebody and just being downright rude. And we're not going to have that, period. It's just not going to happen. But when you give them free reign and you know what kind of character their personality is, I'll tell you, it's like filming a 90s promo wrestling video. Every time you walk up to a new scene, they are hyped up.
Yeah.
And that's where it makes us different, where I feel is because even if you come every year, your experience could be different with the same character because they've got free reign to kind of ad lib with you. So whatever you start talking about, they're going to continue to have a conversation in character as long as you're comfortable or uncomfortable. We don't care. We'll stay right there with you the whole time.
Yeah,
we're very in your face and we're in your face hunt, like to get in your personal area. So
I mean,
we don't like that. We don't like that. Jump out from behind the wall, scare you, jump back behind the wall kind of thing. We want to get involved with our customers, and that's why we like to keep it in the groups we keep them in. The 8-people group, it's really good. Like especially if the flow's going really well and everybody stays in it, it's a whole different experience with the haunted attraction.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
Close.
So how long have each of you been actually in the haunt business, scaring?
For me, about 17 years, going on 17 years. And for John, it's got to be close. He's probably right there with me, probably about 15 or 16 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So what made you want to get into the business?
Brother. When I started, I was still a teenager, essentially. I was probably 16, 17 years old. Still in high school. Finally got my license. I'm all excited. I had never really been to a haunt. I think because we're in North Carolina, I'd been to Scarewinds a few times when I was a kid. And, back in the day with Scarewinds, I mean, it was cool, but that was my experience with the haunted attraction was just like a commercialized vision of it. So it was really cool. But it wasn't necessarily like a haunt, in 2010, 2011, it was a lot different. So I didn't really know anything about it. I had some friends that I went to school with, and they're like, "Hey, dude, we're working at a haunted trail. You should come out. It's a good time. Just come out and volunteer and hang out with us a few nights." And so I did. I just showed up, and man, I fell in love with it. I mean, it gets in your blood. Mm-hmm. I mean, the adrenaline.
Very addictive. Like it's no feeling like any.
And it's not even just. I mean, obviously, scaring people and being able to control it and knowing when enough is enough, and having those boundaries is awesome. But almost what's more memorable to me is building relationships with customers that I've was tormenting when I was a teenager, and now I'm seeing them bring. Excuse me. I'm seeing them bring their kids through now, or family members, and it's like you just built so much because we're a small town. It's a tight knit community, so we know everybody. And
we've done birthday parties for kids.
Yeah,
they come through. When I was Johnny Hog here at this location, I actually had kids that would come here just to bring me Halloween candy. They wouldn't go through the haunted house.
For sure.
What got me into the haunted house thing was I actually went to Reaper's Realm when it was out on Patterson Road, where Angie and TJ had started up Reaper's Realm again after his cousin had quit. And literally going through that, I was like, I have to be a part of this. Like, it was kind of the same experience. It was a lot smaller than what we have now, but it was a very in your face. I mean, there was a guy out there with a shotgun in the woods shooting blanks right beside the trail in the pitch dark. So, and then he comes out with this huge dog. It was like a Great Dane, jet black. And he just walks in front of you, and you're like, oh, my God, like, what the heck is going on right now? And it just, like, I don't know. When I seen that, I was like, man, I got to be a part of this.
Yeah, haunts in the 90s and early 2000s. Oh, yeah. It was a different breed.
Whole different ball game.
It was different.
Yeah.
We had a spin box. I mean, those things. Always cool.
Yeah, we had some wild stuff for sure.
Yeah, we built some crazy things out here. We had a swinging bridge at this location that went over top of our the creek down here. And, I mean, you're like 15 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean, we hand built it, all of us, putting it together, and this was crazy stuff.
Job, excavating for. I mean, we put railroad ties, like railroad track, like iron railroad track,
like 20 feet in the ground.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, it was like big time construction.
Yeah, it was
just so you could walk across the swinging bridge. I mean, we would drive vehicles across it.
It was awesome.
So you guys have been to the new haunt. So when you're going into What's now is the water tower from this last year. That platform that you walk across, it's essentially the same idea. We had the new property. We had about a 20-foot embankment, and we're like, man, how are we going to get the trailer across this? And we're like, we would love to do a swing and bridge, but we're growing. We
really didn't have the time at that point.
And we were growing so fast. It's like we got to be able to keep group flow.
Because you can hang up a group on a swing and bridge really quick.
Yeah, so we had to we defaulted more to like a stationary dock feel, and built it that way. But it is cool because we have the fire cannons that are 20 foot away, shooting up, but it feels like you're standing right over top of them, but realistically, because they're so far down and we push them back in the woods, it feels like they're right there on you.
Wow. That is too cool.
That's awesome. So tell us now a little bit about, making the mask and what you guys do to, dress the costumes up.
So for me personally, it was kind of a niche where I've always had a passion for it. I was like, man, since I started, everybody they remember their first mask. That's, as you're a kid, you want to get a new Halloween mask. Back in the 90s, it was like, oh, I want to get this Michael Myers mask or this new Scream mask. Remember the one that had like the heart pumps where you could like pump blood through it?
Yeah.
It was one that I was like my absolute favorite. So, it really grabbed a hold of me as a kid. I just was always kind of it drew me in. But it was more of like a need for the haunt. Realistically, it was like we had some stuff. We would get older, and we weren't a huge commercial haunt, and we're still not a gigantic haunt by today's standards. But we feel like we're doing really well, and we love what we do. But it was just things are expensive. That's kind of how even the home hunters, like, what can we do ourselves to save money? And it kind of started like that, and it just got better and better and better. I'm like, man, we might have something going here. And
it's really hard to throw a $500 silicone mask on a 17-year-old kid out there in the trail, because essentially we want everybody to look cool. We want everybody to look good out there. So, we throw those $500, $700 masks on these guys, and then they come back with a face ripped, and we're like, dude, like, what are we going to do next?
Yeah.
And you'll find them, they'll lay them on the ground. So
or leave them out there.
Leave them out all week. They'll come back in. They're like, where's my mask? I'm like, I don't know. You didn't put it with your stuff. And they're like, oh, it was in my room. And I'm like, dude, like, you can't just leave this stuff laying around. So with our mask, like, if anything happens to them on the trail, Mitch repairs them through the week. And
for sure,
if there's anything we need, like, it worked out better for us, honestly, as far as, like he said, saving the money on not buying the expensive mask. And, and like the stuff we're doing now, Mitch does a great job with pulling stuff in and making it actually fit the costumes. And we can make it, like, if we want to change, like if Skitzo wants a different mask this year, like, I can go to Mitch and be like, hey, bro, I want to do this, X, Y, and Z this year. And, dude, in a week, I can have 3 masks if I wanted to. I could change out a mask every night. But, it works out great for us, honestly.
Realistically, I'd say comfortably at least 75% of everything that you see in our show is, handmade by us in-house. That's going to be your animatronics, not just your mask. That's going to be your props, your stationary props. All of the scares are all designed in-house. I don't think I've ever been to another haunt and seen some of the scares that are so unique with ours. Not to ruin anything for anybody if they're going to come, but you guys have been there. The ending of our haunt, I don't know anybody that has ever done anything like that. Yeah. It's so out of the norm. And I feel there's eventually going to come a time where we're going to have to transition some things just as we keep growing. But for right now, so I will say this. If you guys want to go to a kick-ass haunt that still has an old school feel, that you get scared and you have a good time, it's controlled and it's safe, come see us. It's not we're not a touch haunt or anything like that. So let's just throw that out there. Nobody's grabbing you and dragging you off or anything like that. We're just a very high intense.
You may get your hair brushed every once in a while. I'm not gonna say I don't get very close, but we do get very close and up and personal.
Yeah, when we train, back to that, we train our actors. We want to be able to smell your breath.
Yeah.
You got to be able to read the room. Read the room. but we want you to be able to get chest to chest and really kind of push the limits a little bit, but know when enough is enough, and also being able to keep group flow. So you'll have, instead of just a pop out scare where you have an arm something pop out at you, or a acromatronic just moves out, you're being entertained the entire time with pretty much every actor.
Yeah, I agree. You guys always have done a great job of scaring us. We're hard to scare. I mean, we go to haunts all the time, and I mean, people ask us that all, you're with Scare Factor, it is very hard to scare us, and you guys always seem to get us somehow, some way. So it's impressive.
I think it's the smell, personally.
Yeah.
It gets you on edge right out of the gate.
And it's funny because, a lot of people that, own haunted houses and everything, they act like they can't be scared at haunted houses or stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, we were out in Transworld this past year, and I'm just standing there in one of our costumes, and I was scaring the hell out of people walking down the aisles, and all I'm doing is just moving out at them.
Yeah, everybody's he would look like a mannequin because we had everything lined up. I mean, I'll show you some of the stuff here in a second, but I mean, we had 10 or 12, characters fully head to toe. You could not see a piece of plastic on the mannequin. And when you have one of them that just slightly moves out, and it's like, oh crap, that one was.
They would come up and be touching the costume, and they're like, that feels real. And I would just be like, cause it is, and just scare them. It's so much fun. Yeah, that's hilarious. It was so much fun. We have a good time, and that's the thing with us too. We're all family, you know what I'm saying? Sure. So we have a great time. Yeah. Even working during the summer, I mean, we'll go through, it's hot right now, and it's going to get hotter, and we're still going to be out there every week, every weekend. And we have a good time. We work hard, we play hard, and, it's just, we keep the family vibe going, and that's the biggest part to us. It's keeping it very family with everything.
Yeah. Now, without giving away too much, other than VIP, are there any kind of sneak peeks that you can say of maybe what could be new this year?
Going to be a little bit added to the asylum. We're going to add a little bit to that. It's going to be pretty cool. We're pretty excited for that add-on.
The biggest one, we have a really big build coming, and I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seats. It's before, if you've ever been, it's before you get to the carnival, but it's going to be about 5 times the size as it was before. And I believe it's going to be between 20 and 40 foot tall all the way around the perimeter. So it's huge.
It's massive.
It is huge. I don't think I would arguably say it could be the largest outdoor just single attraction just by sheer scale that I've ever seen. And I've been to quite a few haunts. It's going to be pretty intense, and I'm excited to see people's faces before they go into it, their initial reaction, and see how out of breath and how sweaty they are when they come out of it.
And one thing I like to do too, there may be some of the buildings the same, but we do go into a lot of our buildings. We're going to go in and revamp and move things around, and that way it may be the same building last year, but when you go through it, it's going to have a different feel to it, a different vibe in there. So
I feel like that's something that's not really talked about enough in the haunt industry in itself. Everybody always talks about, I'm building this, I'm building that. We're starting this. That's great, but for me personally, I like seeing people going in and just revamping the initial infrastructure. Mm-hmm. Take home who brought you to the dance. I mean, it's
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. I like going in and changing things up and detailing it, especially for the folks that come every year, because it's, there's going to be somebody over here that's going to come out, or there's an animation that's right here that's about to be really loud. So,
even the upgrade just to the entrance right there in the hallway last year where you guys first come in, just that feel went from plywood walls and a concrete floor to actually when you walk in, it felt like you were inside of the house, and gave it that whole different vibe when you first come in. And started everybody set it off really good, and kind of gets everybody in the, oh crap, what did we walk in?
Especially because if you guys haven't been, when you come in, our initial like a lot of haunts, they'll have like rules rooms and stuff like that. So we don't do like your regular lines outside. When you come in, you'll get a wristband, and we call you by group color. And then you come in, and essentially you go into a holding hallway before you start the attraction. Well, it used to just be, white painted walls that was bright white and, real clean. It was always new. And you just waited in line kind of right there for, about 15 minutes. And then, as we filtered your groups in. Last year we went in and completely tore everything out. We expanded it just a little bit so people could walk through a little easier and completely themed it to the same theme as the haunted attraction or the haunted house, the main haunt on the farm. So, and in doing so, we added some drop downs that were, the old school drop down, everybody's got to have them, but because we allow our lead actors to have so much banter, they were able to entertain the groups that were getting ready to go in, by timing it correctly with also the groups that are going through. So we would hit a drop down and you would be able to see like your depth of field. When they hit the drop down, you're getting entertained, you're getting scared, but then you can see into the haunt that you're getting ready to go into. You can see through this room and through that room into the next room, and you can see through glass, and people are getting scared. And when the drop downs, you can really hear how loud and chaotic it is inside. And that's when people's nerves really start to get going, like, oh shoot, this is real. We can't get out of here now.
I couldn't tell you how many groups we have come through that don't even make it out of that front hallway.
Yeah.
They go in there and they're like, I'm not doing this.
Oh man.
Or
get to the first building and Grandpa has to call security, like, hey, we need some people escorted out. They don't want to do this.
Yeah, it was insane. So last year there was one night, there was like 30 people in one night that made it to the first scene. And I guess they realized, like, hey, this is a real barn. There's real animals. These people are going to get close to me. And they know how to talk shit. You know what I mean? Like, they know how to interact. They're gonna if we can't scare you, we're gonna entertain you. And if we can't entertain you because you're just there and you don't want to have a good time, we're gonna go to your friends and we're gonna, pass it along. We've got a scare for everybody. Just because I cannot scare you, I'm gonna try to entertain you. I'm gonna make it memorable. We're gonna do something. We're gonna take a picture. We're gonna take a video. I'm gonna have you pull up your Snapchat, and I'm going to Snapchat your friends and, tell them, they're missing out. Or, you know what I mean? I'll start letting you roast me and feel like you're getting over on us. But essentially what I'm doing is when I do that is I'm getting your name tag handle and I'm radioing to the, security and saying, hey, these guys they're not really having such a good time. Let's, we kind of can fill them out and say, hey, in this part of the area, when you see them, make sure, if you don't get a jump start or if you don't get the entertainment from the banter, let's make sure we make them have a good time. So it's all about the experience.
That is awesome.
I don't know how many times I get the radio throughout the night and they'll go, Skitzo, hey, just so you know, we got a group of people coming through and they said they're not scared of anything. And I'm like, bet we got them when they get out here. We got to take care of that. And I've had people make it all the way out to the clown room. And they'll stop there and literally sit out there and wait on security. And I'm like, you're already halfway done. Just finish. And they're like, no, we're not going any further. Not going any further. And I'm like, man, and we try to get them like calm down, like to push them on through. Like, because you paid your money to go through the whole thing. So it's not like we're trying to scare you to make you leave.
No, I know.
And we want you to experience the whole thing, because when you go home, we want you to go to your neighbors and everybody and go, you have to go to Reaper's Realm in Salisbury. Like, they put on a great show. They do X, Y, and Z, and we loved it. And they scared the crap out of us. I mean, it's always, you want everybody to have the best experience. That way they feel like they get the best bang for their buck. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And we're
So
very
what are some of your best scares that people visiting?
Okay, so get that. So I guess it would have been between 2013 to about 2017.
Oh, yeah.
We actually worked together.
Oh yeah, me and you in
our barn, and that was, for me personally, was some of my favorite years.
Oh yeah, of
just scare acting.
Yeah.
There was multiple years in a row where we had the Charlotte Hornets that were coming through. We had
Ty Kelly from Street Outlaws.
There was a couple of like TV programs and stuff that came through, and
then they're doing big shout outs to us, like, you got to go here, you got to go do this, like, these guys are awesome.
But we just work so well together, essentially, like when we're scare acting, because we can both read groups really well, especially now. But even then, like you could tell like the energy that a group was bringing, based off of the age group that they were. If they're middle school age, high school age, if they're in their 20s, 30s, you kind of know what level of entertainment to bring, what kind of comedy you may want to bring to your banter. But ultimately, what's going to decide it is, when you approach them, kind of how the vibes they get off. If they talk back immediately, if you've got the big tough guy in the front that's leading everybody through, and we'll reorganize you. We had built the barn where it was the maze that you could get every group that came through in a single night. We could give them a different show. We could send them a different way.
Wow.
And we just were so good together.
I mean, you're talking putting people on the ground and have them crawling to get away from you in the barn. It was wild. It was really good.
Until they look up and see a 600-pound hog right in front of their face behind some, wire paneling. They're like, oh, no.
Back then, I was Johnny Hog, and he was Pork Chop. And we had a guy that was our, what do we call him? Big Jeff. He was 7 foot tall. Angus.
I remember that guy.
He was like 7 foot tall, like 400 pounds. And
big dude.
Like, we literally had him in a chair and a strobe light above him. So when you first turn the corner, you look at him, you're like, okay, he's not that big.
Yeah,
and then he stands up in the strobe light, and you're like, holy shit. and then Pork Chop would come out right behind him to scare him into him, and then he's running back. Man, we used to have
And then John would have a drop-down panel right beside him, so they would stop, look at him. I would get a side scare, push him. He would move to the side, and then John would come from over top of him. And it was just like a continuous line of working together. So scares in front, scares up top, scares from behind, scares from the floor. Like you had nowhere to go but cover and run.
Wow.
And then they split us up because they were like, all right, you two have to have your own places. Like you can't all be together out there. Like we got to move you guys around. So
I think I remember that, like when we first started visiting you guys, that being one of the like significant like moments within the hall. That and then you guys used to, in the old location, there was that area where the foam pit was, and you got put. So I got pushed in the foam pit. That scared the crap out of me.
Directly above our head. To be honest with you, that is directly above our head where I'm sitting right now.
Oh really?
Oh okay.
That's
we loved it, and like we would really like to move it out there, but it's just it's such a liability. Now,
it was fun.
It was great. Yeah.
But if you're doing 500 people or less a night, you can control it.
Yeah.
But when you get doing 1,000 or 1,500 people in a night, it's
hard to get them out of.
Yeah. We don't want anybody falling on top, because if it was just me or you falling in, you were perfectly safe. But when you have 2 or 3 people falling on top of each other, then it was they could hurt themselves, and it was just too much of a liability. So we decided to shag that one out.
Yeah, we definitely understand that from liability. He does insurance on the side, so he knows all about that stuff.
You know all about liability.
Oh
Yeah.
For sure.
What can people expect in your Midway this year while they're waiting? So tell people that haven't been before, so they know like what's out there.
Yeah, great question. So we're actually doing some expansion. We're moving some of the. So let me rewind here. When you come into our Midway, it's more of it's like Fort Knox. So we use shipping containers to block everything off. So, so that way you can't have some crazy person who wants to come drive their vehicle into a crowd or something. We think about everything. We have a really good security team. We want, once you come through our security, I don't think that you could get back out to the parking lot if you wanted to, unless you had somebody to direct you. Everything's fenced off. We're in the woods. We have shipping containers. People can't get inside to you. So it's good that way. So we're moving some of the containers back. It's going to be a little bit different feel. So we've always had music and lights and stuff, kind of the normal, but we're kind of turning it up just a little bit. So you're going to expect more of a party vibe, higher energy, and I believe a lot more characters out front at all times. So I think we're trying to push more toward, and it's just because we're growing, when you have a crowd of 800 or 1,000 or 12, 1,500 people at one time, you got to have more than just a couple of actors out there. And we've been fortunate to grow as fast as we have. And I think we got to give props to the actors. If it wasn't for you know, the folks that, you know, put their blood, sweat, and tears into it and make sure that you have a good experience, you wouldn't come back. And the return that we've seen from people every year is, you know, you're coming back and now you're bringing your friends. And the next year, you and your friends are coming and they're bringing more people. So it's just, it's really growing at a really fast rate. And we couldn't be more grateful. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah. So how many actors do you guys have on average each season?
On a slow night, like at the very minimum, I would say 75 actors scaring. On average, we're right at 100. And if we are fully staffed, just actors, if we're fully staffed and have a few actors, we're usually around 120.
Okay.
But so you can expect at a very minimum, I would say 80 to 100 actors on average.
Okay.
It's gone from, you know, a small hometown haunt. Now, you know, it's really grown. I mean, we've had, and it's not even just new actors anymore. I mean, we just had a recent actor meeting as the time of, you know, we're recording this, and the amount of new faces that we saw, and then we didn't even advertise for it. I mean, this was just a preliminary meeting before we started advertising for new actors, just for, you know, returning actors, but for them to reach out to their friends and message us and say, hey, you know, I've got some friends that want to join us this year. They want to, you know, come talk to you guys and see how everything works. And, you know, we sit down with everybody and we go over our actor contracts, and, you know, we explain everything, you know, between the days you got to be there and the days that are mandatory, and, you know, the amount of money that you're going to make and all of that. And it's just continuing to grow. It blows my mind.
And we have several 10-year plus actors that we have with us. We have a ton. I couldn't tell you how many that are 5-year plus actors.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have a lot of them. And I mean, and every year, like you said, we always get new actors. And I mean, those are the ones, like you said, that usually kind of like, some of them will come in, they're like, oh, I want to do this. And they're like, man, this is work. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as easy as it looks when you're walking through it. So, I mean, some of those guys will fall out and not, you know what I'm saying, not come back. But we keep a lot of very experienced actors, I would say, because
that's a good point.
People always come, like when at the end of the year, they're like, man, I'm so ready for next year, you know, hey, and some of them, you know, they want to throw stuff out like, hey, next year, can I do this? Can I do that? And we're like, come out this summer and we'll work with you and we'll figure out what, you know what I'm saying? Like if that's going to work. Because everybody has ideas, obviously, but it's like, okay, does your idea, does it work with our haunted house, with what's going on? So that's one thing we do pride ourselves on, is we have a backstory for pretty much every building on the trail. Yeah. For every lead actor has a backstory, and we try to make our lead actors like, hey, you need to know these backstories. Yeah. Especially like, you know, like characters like Johnny Hogg and Grandpa and Slim and guys like that. We're like, dude, you have to know these, because if they say something, you need to be Slim from 5 years ago. So if this guy comes through and they're like, oh, you remember me, blah, 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 and it's like, you got to be able to say something to them. Like, don't just shut down on them. Don't trip up. Yeah. Because that's really the biggest thing for actors, like with us. You're never going to trip me up. You're never going to trip Mitch up on stuff. Yeah. If you come at me, like, I'm pretty quick coming back. Like, it's just it's just something we've done for years. So it's
just because we hang out with each other nonstop.
Yeah.
We build together. We vacation together. I mean, it's, you know, we're brothers, you know. Yeah. I talk to you probably every day or every other day.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I don't see him, it's like, hey, dude, how's everything going? I'm texting or send him a Snapchat or send him a TikTok video that I think's funny or something. So we're communicating.
Yeah.
So we're all on the, I mean, even like, and that's like that with a lot of our, not even just our lead actors. I mean, I talk to all of our actors. I mean, essentially, I mean, there's a few that are, that I don't really talk to as much because they don't do social media and stuff like that. But I try to stay in contact with everybody. I mean, just as a mentor, if they need it, you know what I mean? It's that's the way that I am. I want to I'm not in a manager position to be on a video or, you know, to brag on social media. I want to help you become a better actor and be the best person that you can be, regardless if you're scaring with us or not. I mean, it comes down. It's more than just a haunted house. We try to really stay in contact.
And going back to the family thing, I mean, like Angie and TJ and all their boys work the haunted house.
Hardest working family
Me and all three of my boys are pretty much there. One's kind of he's in and out, but like this year I'll have two of my sons back with us. You know, Mitch's boy's getting ready to get up in age where he can start working.
Yeah, my oldest son's almost 11, or he just turned 11. So he's really wanting to join.
And we have several families that are, you know, that it's the husband and wife and all their kids. They come in and they've got, you know what I'm saying? Like we really like that. We try to keep that vibe. You know what I mean? Like
if we have like a smaller child that's, you know, 10, 12 years old or maybe 9 or something, that they want to work and they will message us like, hey, our kids want to do this. Well, you know, let's pump the brakes here. I mean, it's not exactly legal for us to do that. But if you want to volunteer, or if you want to work and you want to bring your kid, and you know, it's not always them necessarily scare acting, but if they want to come and get in costume and hang out for a little bit and do a good job, and
we have some of the best kids out there. Like, well, Sunshine in the clown room, the little clown, my little guy, he does a great job out there. His dad works out there with us. Yeah, he's Sprinkles and Sunshine, our father and son out there in the clown room. And
they were great. Yeah.
I mean, and they're like this. You know, my clowns are like this all night long because I don't want people. Because we do have people that'll walk through the trail, go out front, purchase another ticket, and come right back through again. Yeah. So when they come through, like he was saying, they'll go, hey, watch out, this guy's about to come out right here. To people that haven't been through, and I'm like, that makes me mad. So I'm like, all right, here's what we're doing, guys. You guys go over here. You guys come over here. I want you to go over there. And we try to keep it a different show. And it's hard to do it, but all night long, you're trying to make it
fresh. You keep
fresh all night. You know what I mean?
Even when I was, you know, scare acting in scenes in the haunt, I mean, it gets redundant.
I appreciate being on the call, folks. Love you guys. Hope to see y'all again this year, but I got to run. You guys are awesome, and we love what you guys do.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you.
See you soon.
Let me know. What do you say we guys look at some cool stuff? With Mini Mayhem Productions, as we were talking about before, we kind of started because we had a need in our own haunt, and it's something that I was passionate about. And I really, really love masks, and I really love making characters. And as I progressed into the haunt industry, I kind of took it more seriously, and as the haunt is turning a little bit more towards like you're geared to your pro haunt, right? You know, when you go from just, you know, having a tip jar and you come in and it's like you just walk through and it's volunteer, and now it's, you know, you're getting paid, and you know, people are paying to come through an attraction, so their expectations are going to be higher. Mm-hmm. I have some crazy ideas. The owners have crazy ideas, and it's like, man, I really want to make this. And there were some things that, you know, we just didn't see at the show. Were certain characters at price points that, you know, home hunters or, you know, could really afford, or, you know, maybe an actor wanted to buy a new costume or a new mask, and, you know, things get real expensive. So we try to keep things as affordable as possible, but we do have some, you know, higher end stuff that, I mean, if you want to go full custom mode and you want to build a really cool character, I mean, the sky's the limit. It's, you know, we'll send you quotes, and, you know, you send us designs, and if it fits the sculpts that we have, we'll build you a character to your need. And I don't know if you can see here, but this was a new mask that we came out with this year. This is a variation of our broken doll. That's a full head custom. Super, super, super comfortable and lightweight. So pretty much all of our masks, it's all going to be like a latex base. If you have a latex allergy, we have a few other options that we could work with you on. You know, if you wanted to go more towards like you know, natural materials, like whether you're wanting like burlap, or if I need to do cloth lining, or we got to do something to work with you, we can do that. If you like our style and you're like, hey man, I really want these guys to make me something, hit me up. If it's something that's in my wheelhouse and I've got the raw materials to do it, hell yeah, we'll get you set up.
Oh man, cool.
That's awesome.
This is Big Mo. This is kind of based off of one of my other characters that I do at the haunt that I don't think you guys have ever seen before. So note to you guys, I do a few different characters. You guys have just seen Mr. Whiskers, but I have a character called Big Lou, or Uncle Lou, And it's essentially the storyline originated is the family went to Trans World in St. Louis, and they just so happened to, be out to dinner and found a homeless guy walking down the road, and they were just trying to be nice and give him a helping hand, and just, brought him back to North Carolina and said, "Hey, I got a farm. If you need a job, we can give you some work and get you some living wages and get you set up." So they brought Big Lou from St. Louis back to the farm, and he gets free reign come hunt season. He gets a little crazy. So that's where the crazy hillbilly hobo comes from.
Love it.
It's probably one of our most popular creations. Am I still clear on? Am I kind of clear? Or, okay.
Yeah, you are right now.
Okay, so this is our witch. So this is actually a character that was designed in our hunt that worked really, really well. I mean, it's a really detailed costume. There's a lot of layers and a lot of stuff that goes into it. But when we build our witches scene, we're like, man, we just need something that we can adjust sizing on. We need something that, we can do multiple of the exact same thing and change the colors up, and they don't look the same. So we started doing that for ourselves, and we're like, man, we think other people would, like to have these. So we took them to Trans World, and I kid you not, the first year that we took them, we probably sold 50 of the witch characters. There wasn't a whole, and I don't know if it was just because there wasn't a lot of people that brought witch characters, whether it was just a witch mask. It's classic, it's vintage, it's, everybody likes a good witch, and it just got really popular, and we've sold hundreds of them, and I've been fortunate enough to, keep gaining traction and continue to get more and more people's business and following, and it's been awesome for me, because the more that you guys spend out there, the more I get to do what I love, so it doesn't feel like I'm working. I'm just like, hey, I get to go make some new cool masks. If somebody orders something custom, it's like, dang, you want to give me free reign. You like my style enough to say, hey, this is what I want. Here's free reign artistic ability. Send me photo updates. If I want to change something, we'll let you know. I mean, we'll change it. So to be able to work with, some haunts and other managers and actors, it's really been a blessing. Like this is a one-off scarecrow that I just kind of threw together for a guy that he really liked our scarecrows at the show, and said, hey man, I want to get like 5 or 10 of these things and just redo a scene in our haunt. And this is another one that's getting ready to ship out with the same thing. He's like, I dig your style, just make me some really cool stuff, and we're hooking this guy up. So kudos to you guys. If you call us and you hit me up and you say, hey, this is what kind of character I want, this is kind of the color combinations and what color profile I want to be in, if I want to stay more like neutral colors, you know what I mean, where you have your reds, your oranges, your browns, your tans, where it's all kind of in one color wheel. Or if you tell me you want something that's a little bit more vibrant, even if it's not a clown, some people really like clowns. I love making clowns, don't get me wrong. They're not my favorite, like in a hunt. I think they may be, sometimes they get a little overplayed out for me personally, but it's got to be one of my favorite things to make, just because they're so loud and they're so bright, and everything is, I mean, it's like color by numbers. I mean, it's whatever colors you want. And we've made some crazy looking clowns, and I like making them, so sharing it. And
tell people how to reach out to you as well. Oh,
for sure. So if you want to, for the hunt, if you're interested in checking the hunt out, look it up. It's Reaper's Realm NC. So Reaper's Realm NC for North Carolina.com. ReapersRealmNC.com. If you're wanting to inquire or go to the website and check out some of the costumes and the mask, it's Mini Mayhem Production. That's Mini Mayhem Productions.biz, B-I-Z currently. Okay. That may change by the time you see this. We are working with some website people to try to get some things changed over, just to make your order process a little more simpler. It's sometimes our website had some quirks in the past, so we're just trying to get everything tightened up there. We're really good at making masks, not so good at websites. So we're
yeah, I get it.
Anybody, if any of you guys out there are graphic designers and website designers, and you looking for a side gig, hit me up because I got some really cool stuff to show off, and I would like to do it in a professional way. So let me know
Nice.
if that's your thing.
Awesome.
So
But
you
yeah,
make
I mean,
masks, what, after work every day of the week, pretty much?
yeah. So believe it or not, I'm not a full-time hunter as much as I would love to be. I have been very fortunate to have an incredible wife. I mean, she's awesome. Okay, you can't get no better. She's supported me from the very beginning when I didn't know how to do anything, and I said, "Babe, I really like this." And it was never a, what are you doing? Why is it so late? It was always words of, affirmation. It was, "Hey, that is really cool." Even if it was trash, she never let my spirits get down, and it allowed me to get better. And then we had kids. I've got 3 incredible boys. I've got 2 young ones that he's about to be 5. And I got a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Wow.
And they are all about some Halloween. And it's not me pushing them on there. That's one thing I said I would never do because my dad never did it to me. There were things, he guided you in the right direction, but I'm not going to force it on them. I'm going to let it come naturally if that's something that they want to do. I'm going to turn you back sideways here, so hopefully I don't mess you up too much here in your post-production. Excuse me here. So, I mean, it's not something that I personally would force on them. It's, if you see what Dad does, they've been around it, so they're desensitized essentially to the hunt. They come every year. My older one goes through. My 2 little ones, they just come and hang out in the Midway and take pictures with Dad or Mr. Whiskers. And my little one is in love with that character. When I say in love, I mean he's next in line. So you guys look out. All right. Okay. The future is well taken care of. All right. My 5-year-old is in good hands. Whenever I'm not able to scare act anymore, I promise you, he's going to be the one to look out for because he's all about it. He already knows some of the one-liners and things that I say, and he's not even at the hunt. He just loves watching YouTube videos of when we do media night and people come through. Yeah, he likes to watch haunted house videos, and essentially what that means, he's like, "Hey, Dad, let's watch haunted house videos." He's wanting to watch scare factor videos and watch people go through haunts all over the country. And oh my goodness gracious, I don't know how many times I've woke up in the middle of the night because I fell asleep to Nora and Tyler walking through a haunt, and all of a sudden some big animation goes blaring off, and Nora is freaking out, or somebody pulls out a spider and she just blows their coal. And I was just like, "Oh God, what the heck is going on? Who is screaming?" And it's because me and Jameson were watching some videos, and I fell asleep, and my wife took him to bed and just left the video playing. So that's neither here nor there. That's just a funny look into our life. I mean, it's haunted house or nothing. I mean, it's
awesome.
our blood. She supports me. They love it. Whenever they're ready and they want to join in, I'll make sure that they're able to put their best foot forward and can do it. But until they're old enough to really make the decision for themselves, I'm not just going to cram them out there and make them
Yeah.
because it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a job. I mean,
What's the hardest part of it?
Paid to do. For me, the hardest part of it is dehydration.
Oh yeah.
I can get that. Yeah.
I'll send you guys some pictures to overlay with my hunt character. And I was talking with Brad about this earlier, but I'm making some costume changes this year, not necessarily just because it's time, but I've kind of bettered my health, let's just say it that way, and lost some weight and gotten a lot healthier, and just to feel better and be able to do more stuff with my kids and my family. And the costume simply, it's big, and it was big and baggy before, and now it's really, really big and baggy. So, essentially, like I said at the beginning, I mean, it's a retired Easter Bunny costume. It's a foam-packed leg, like fluffy foam, full-haired cotton, real thick, heavy costume. So there's no airflow through it, so I sweat.
Yeah.
So I mean, staying hydrated is the main thing for me, because I have to have such high energy to entertain people and do my
you're
job.
running all over the place all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, man. But I love it. But I've been getting a little bit older, and I'm having to like kind of, you know, really take care of things. So just don't want to keep doing this. But
Yeah. I get
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's awesome.
so look out, guys. If you follow us on Reaper's Realm on Facebook, or follow me personally on Instagram or Facebook, I'll send them some links if you guys want to check out some of the cool stuff I do behind the scenes. But I'm going to be posting some polls and kind of letting the fans decide some of the way that I'm going to go about with the characters, some of the costume design, just so that, you know, they can be included in the decision. I mean, because I'm going to be honest with you, some stuff that I think is really cool, and I make some really cool characters, don't get me wrong, it's not always the best idea. So anytime I can get a second opinion, I'll be the first one to tell you. If I screw up or if I don't think something is right, I'll tell you, like, hey, I was wrong. But anytime I can get feedback from the people that are actually paying to come see you and take pictures and be entertained, I'm gonna for sure make them a part of it. I mean, the character's here because of the fans. And anytime it changes, it's gonna change because the fans made a decision. So
That's awesome.
that's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys on media night and seeing
I'm so stoked.
all the
We got some special stuff planned for you. I can promise you that. Cannot wait.
Good.
Oh man. But I got a couple questions for y'all though. So y'all been asking me questions all evening. When did you guys first of all, I guess, have either of you ever worked in a haunted attraction or like been a scare actor?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit. More of mine's been I've done some charity haunts in the past.
Right on.
I've never worked for like one of the big North Carolina haunts. So really my love for horror, I mean, it's been since I was little. As soon as when I was 6 years old, my sister was supposed to be babysitting me, and she had a date over, and they watched Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was supposed to be in bed, and I snuck behind the chair and like watched it. And I became obsessed with Freddy Krueger. So much that my parents, this was back, I'm 43, so when USA used to have the Freddy hotline, it would be like, call 1-900-FREDDY. They had to put the block on 1-900 numbers because I kept calling to talk to Freddy Krueger. And so they started taking me to haunted houses when I was little because I was like, I want to meet Freddy. Had this serious obsession with Freddy. So that's kind of when it started for me, and I just always loved it. And when we first met, we met online, and I think on his profile he had like, he loved horror, and he loved metal, and he loved like just doing random, and he liked dogs, and I was like, oh, he's like myself. Yeah. So
Man, right now.
yeah,
sir.
Yeah, so we were traveling all over the place to go to haunted houses. As soon as we started dating, we were like, okay, we're going to go, you know, we went to Atlanta, we went to California. We would go not just we would go to haunts in North Carolina, but we would kind of go all over, and we'd always followed the scare factor. And then we saw that they were looking for someone in North Carolina, and we applied, and we got in, and it's been amazing ever since. We've got to experience a lot of really cool haunts and meet a lot of really cool people, and we love it.
I love
Going into year 4?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
Moving fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're personally, I mean, I'm big fans of the brand and everything that you guys do and everything that Tyler and Nora do, just because it's, you know, it's what we're so passionate about in the industry, and it brings in more fresh eyes to where we're at here in North Carolina. There are some really incredible haunts. I mean, I can't say enough good things about, you know, some of the haunts that are within, you know, an hour or less really from us. I mean, it's with an hour drive, you can get 4 or 5, I mean, really, really incredible shows that are all different in their own ways. So you guys, if you're in North Carolina, for sure, go to scarefactor.com and put your state in and just look up what haunts are close to you, because they are some bangers out there. Their reviews are pretty spot on. I mean, it's, for me, I mean, we look at it if we have a night that we're closed or an off night that's, later in the season, like this year, our last night is going to be Halloween night, which is October 31st, the Saturday. A lot of haunts in our area are going to be continuing to run, whether it be like a blackout event or regular show through the weekend. And then sometimes, I mean, a lot of haunts will call it like Hell Week, right? You'll hear that a lot in the haunt industry, which is Hell Week, which is like the last couple of weeks of haunt season, where it's like, you'll get 6 to 12 days in a row for a lot of the bigger haunts. And even us, I mean, some of the at the end of the season, I mean, sometimes it's like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I mean, like a full week straight every night, and it's exhausting. Don't get me wrong, but it really, like, it brings the team closer together. I mean, it's I don't know if it's like military thing where it's like trauma bonding, right? So we're all gassed up, we're all exhausted, but we're pushing through because the fans are here, kind of deal. But man, I'll tell you what, I mean, there's so many great haunts in our area for sure. If you can only see one, I can't make the decision for you. You would be better off throwing a dart at the board. There's not one that I would say like, oh, this one is way better than this one. It's, this one may be better at this one thing, but I have never seen this one before. Something like this in a show. So everybody's so unique in their own way. If you're able to, I would say go to as many as you can. Have a good time with your friends. Find a babysitter. Make it a date night. Who knows? You may see one of these guys or one of the other channels come around with a selfie camera getting the shit scared out.
That's right.
We have people coming up to, I mean, I know Tyler and Nora get it all the time, all year, but especially in haunt season, we have people coming up to us all the time. Like, oh my gosh, Scare Factor! Like, we have people stopping at.
First time that happened, I was like, I think we were in Virginia, and they said, hey, we watch your Facebook, and like, what?
Yeah.
The gas station, they just keep looking at you, and they're like,
I know you, and I'm like, it's
probably that red hair from somewhere. I know that long hair from somewhere, and they just keep looking at you, and it's like, we're essentially media influencers. You'll see us on YouTube, and they're like, oh yeah, it's Halloween videos, and it's like, oh okay, yeah.
I've had that happen even recently. Someone's like, I know you, and I'm like, well, you we don't know me. I was like, it's probably from online, like on our social media or our videos. So yeah, but it's cool.
Fortunate for me, I'm covered head to toe, so people don't ever know who I am. Now after this, they might be like. Now they're like, I know that guy. It's a small town.
Incognito.
That guy. I've been fortunate, but I have had a couple of times where it's like I'll be wearing a Reaper's Realm sweatshirt or a T-shirt, and I mean, realistically, I mean that's my whole world, my wardrobe. So if I'm ever out somewhere, a lot of people are like, hey, I went to you guys last year, and I'm like, for real? What was your favorite part? And I get it all the time, like that crazy looking bunny guy, and I just turn around and pat myself on the back, and I'm like, you want to take a picture before I tell you, or would you take a picture with them? And then they'll pull it up, and a lot of the times I'm like, hey man, that guy looks familiar, and I'll pull my camera up, and they're like, oh my god, that's you, and it's always fun.
You just need to do the voice, and they'll be like, oh my god.
Yep.
I've done it a couple of times. Yeah.